What is up, everybody? TheDoubleZTV's, man, Double Z's man, whatever. Well, it's time for TheDoubleZTV's memories. If I seem a little off today, it's because I did a ton of freaking video recording yesterday. I think I did like 25 consecutive My Career Mode episodes for WWE 2K15, and then recorded a special video that I'm hoping to have up tomorrow. I'm not going to spoil it on that. Let's just say it's probably the biggest video I've done in a while, and it's definitely one of the longest. So I thought today I would... Quit shaking that pod. So I thought I would bring up today's TheDoubleZTV's memories video, because I haven't done one in the last few days, and that is the whole 2 accidents with the Cadillac. For those who don't know, remember we had a 2010 Cadillac SRX, damn good car. My family initially was looking at a different one, but my family decided to turn down a different one we were looking at because it had a ton of technology on the friggin' buttons, and my grandparents were like, "Oh, we won't know how to work this, find us a better one." It's like, really? You just push buttons on a screen. But anyway, we had that Cadillac for a few years, and I think it was just over 2 years ago when I had my fender bender accident back in March of 2013. Yeah. It was a week after I had my toenail removed. I don't know if people remember that vlog, right? It's from a while back where I had finally got my toenail removed because I had stubbed it a couple months prior. It was like it wasn't growing or anything, kind of looked fucked up, and I'm like, oh boy. So I finally had that fixed. A week later, I had to go see the doctor again for a bit of the check to make sure everything was good. Then afterwards, I drove around a little bit because, well, it was the first time I'd gotten out of the house in a few days because it was on a Monday, so we hadn't gone anywhere, no dinner or anything. So I drove around a little bit. I drove right near my high school. And then all of a sudden, I didn't hit the brakes soon enough after getting ready to come to a bit of a four-way intersection right by my old high school, and rear-ended a white Jeep. And that freaking scared the shit out of me. Because, of course, that was my first accident. Of course, my first and only accident, because I haven't driven in the past year and a half. My rear-ended the white Jeep, I was freaking panicking. My anxiety shot through the roof because I can barely be in a car nowadays without fearing that of another accident, especially if I'm in the passenger seat. But we went to the wait for the police. And luckily, I don't think there was any damage to the Jeep or anything. And the officer was kind enough not to give me a ticket because I was a new driver. I think I only had my license for somewhere between 3 and 5 months at that point. So he's like, "Hey, I see that you're a new driver. I can see you've learned your lesson. You're all shaken up, so I'm not going to give you a ticket." I'm like, thank goodness. But afterwards, when I came back home and I said right to my family, the Cadillac got in an accident. They freaking rushed out the door, saw the front of the Cadillac. They saw it was smashed up because the front little bumper area was down, kind of a bit of a crack in the left headlight, and they were pissed. I mean, good lord. Then after a while, they finally calmed down, and then they got the car fixed. I had to pay the deductible, which was at least $200. We got that fixed and everything. It took a while for the Cadillac to come back because they keep giving the company that was fixing our Cadillac the wrong headlight. At least twice in a row. Then finally, when they realized that they were constantly giving the wrong headlight, they called the company. He's like, "Hey, do you guys have this headlight?" Then they looked around and they realized, oh, here it is. The company that was sending the company that was fixing our car the headlights realized that they kept sending the wrong one to begin with, and they had the right one in their possession the whole time. So then they finally got the Cadillac fixed. We got it back, and of course, tied into the problems from the last TheDoubleZTV's memory video. Then afterwards, my grandfather would not shut up to everybody about the accident. Everybody we knew heard about it. Even our local barber, Milt, heard about it. Because one day I was trying to finally leave the barbershop after getting a haircut, and he says, "Don't go rear-ending Jeeps or any other vehicles," and I'm like, that's right, my grandfather freaking told him. Everybody in our family found out and all that crap. It's like accidents aren't really allowed to happen. Even we have a couple grandparents over my stepdad's side. My stepdad's mother and his new stepdad, which is like the second stepdad he's had, came in from Canada. We had dinner I think somewhere around a year back, at least somewhere in there. We went to Logan's Roadhouse for dinner, and as we're leaving, I'm sitting in the Cadillac. He brings them over and keeps pointing out the front of the Cadillac to them, and I'm like, he's talking about that freaking accident again, isn't he? even when it's family that's come from freaking Canada, and they're in Canada right now because my stepdad's stepdad is a resident of Canada. They're supposed to be there for a while to gain, like, I don't know what the freaking deal is. All I know is they have to be in Canada for a little while. Then finally, something happened where he finally got off my freaking back about the accident. My grandmother had one. You guys probably remember that from one of the vlogs from a little while back. What happened was one day she was going to KFC to get dinner and bring it home. And what happened was, we have the highway US 31 here, right near an auto parts store. What happens is there's an auto parts store where, right near that corner, you're supposed to be able to get on, there's supposed to be that ramp to get on US 31, like the highway area. My grandmother, and it was raining outside. My grandmother accidentally slipped a little too fast, trying to make that turn onto US 31 rampway, and it wasn't like as the ramp was slanted up, it was more like around the base of it. She accidentally slid up, went a little too fast, didn't turn at the right time, and fucked up the bottom of the car because that edge of the curb for the freaking rampway screwed up the bottom of the car. And then, of course, she freaking called. She's on her cell phone saying, "Call Grandpa, I got in an accident," and telling her where she was and all that stuff. Oh, boy. Now, you may be wondering, and it wasn't just because of the accident of why my grandfather hasn't talked about my accident really ever since. It's because my grandmother ended up doing more damage to the car than I did my accident. Because those number totals eventually added up and everything, and the amount that it took to repair for the freaking Cadillac for her accident was way more than mine. So I don't think my grandfather really has a reason to bring it up again. But anyway, that's my latest episode of TheDoubleZTV's memories for both of the freaking accidents to the Cadillac. And then, of course, not too long afterwards, of course, our insurance rates went up for car insurance. They got rid of the insurance plans. And I'm still not insured to this day, so that's why I haven't really driven or anything. And I'm still going through some of the anxiety issues because I've still been shaken up because of the accident. So, it's a rough ride. So I think the next TheDoubleZTV's memories, I'm not exactly certain when it'll be up, but I have an idea for what the topic is. It's going to be about the time that I got my reputation slandered on a blogging site in middle school. That is going to be quite the story to bring up, folks, because it really is a fucked up story. You guys will find out when it comes up. Hopefully, maybe I'll get it up tomorrow, I'm not sure. So, thanks for watching, folks. Peace.